What's up, Starcraft fans? The patch is now live. That means it's time to try out the Arcturus changes. So Blizzard has apparently, for some reason, decided to nerf Arcturus' bunker expand. Some of you might think it's overpowered or anything, but personally I think he needs every bit of advantage that he can get. Because his army is really weak without the Royal Guard, his laborers. Speaking of laborers, they've also nerfed the Imperial Mandate generation. I think they're trying to make us use their Royal Guard more. Although, based on my my usage of the Royal Guard so far, I feel like Mengsk's primary strength still comes from his top bar, so I'll still want to use that more. So I'm gonna try a game of Void Thrashing to see how to expand as Arcturus Mengsk. Again, this is not a how-to video. I'm trying out different means of trying to expand. So now my masteries are going to be Deliberate Trooper Imperial Support still, Royal Guard Cost, and now I'm going to do starting Imperial Mandate. It used to provide 60 generation, now it's down to 30. So yeah, let's see how it goes. While waiting for the loading screen, a huge thank you to Nia Metal and Ravai who are supporting me in the Pulse Cannon tier, and thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. Okay, let's do this. Good luck with our ally. Let's do one bunker. This feels very wrong. My ally Spochai is playing as Arcturus, I think. So let's see how this goes. It's definitely not gonna be as fast as yeah, 2 bunkers obviously. We'll see though, we'll see. I think stack 10 workers at most to build, although I don't think they're anywhere close to we're anywhere close to having enough minerals. What if I bank? What if I just bank my minerals?
Guess I'm on your list. I'm complying.
Let's try head over here. Alright, break the other one. Alright, start this. Alright. Oh, okay. Might as well. Then, as soon as that thing goes down, you guys switch to labor mode and work on this thing. Okay? Now let's start our barracks. Imperial barracks.
My dominion, right or wrong.
Okay, I can start another bunker over here actually. Yeah, that might help me. Might help me with my income, early game income. Okay.
Guess I'm on your list. Empire's right behind me.
Start the not enough minerals. Where are these idle ones? Let's get a bunker over here. Our backs over here. Over there.
This is exhausting.
Not the 4-minute attack, or not the 3-minute attack wave. So that's good. We have time to prepare. So overall, I'm not prepared for the attack wave right now. Normally it hits about right now, but I'm not really prepared. So I'm not thinking that this is the ideal build for Arcturus.
Empire's right behind me.
Let's fast build this. Okay. Still trying to rush out my Imperial Blimp. Okay, there we go. Let's rush out the fusion core.
An attack is headed for our base. Steel yourself.
Well, let's get some dudes.
We're the higher authority. This is exhausting.
Okay. Let's get a bunker over here. Speed build that. Get the upgrade, get another blimp. Alright.
We'll take it off the board.
I'm no traitor.
This bio. So I should be able to outburst these Marines. I think. Yeah, there we go. So now, I think my play is going to be to turn these into troopers. I'll try to generate Imperial Mana as fast as possible. Maybe I can do a Zerg attack. I'm going to try to use the Pride of Augustgrad, since that also got a buff with the Yamato's summon time. Okay. It is generating faster. Let's try to use the Hydralisk Zerg. Let's get another blimp. Okay. Again, I'm getting 4 workers in there because it's far gas. That's fine, I guess. Yeah. Ally use Solar Bomber over here, I think, which is good. It's gonna weaken the enemy. Not really feeling an attack right now.
We're the higher authority.
Our enemy seeks
Alright.
to destroy everything we have built.
This is the home
Flush
front
out the
now.
cloaked ones immediately.
Get the drop, and then the, I guess the Bunker Hell. I could use some defense.
Right or wrong.
Hmm.
Empire's right behind me.
Elite soldiers await recruitment.
Right. I am trying to get my Pride of Augustgrad, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Take up.
Let's get some enemies bio, so I think this will be fine.
Not enough. Our allies are being attacked.
Okay, allies try to attack. Let's go.
Insufficient rescue
Okay.
gas.
Good shield from ally. I really don't understand why Blizzard decided to nerf these commanders. Avatar's already way stronger than them.
Granted me
Might as well use this thing here. Oh, that's gonna bring out the let's bring out the Thrashers.
Our enemies are mustering. Prepare yourself.
Okay. Well, I guess
Upgrade complete.
forget that one trooper in particular.
This is the home front now.
Okay. Let's get over here and defend. Alright. We're gonna use the Zerg probably.
A void thrasher has been slain.
I know siege tanks are probably better here, but yeah, I want to test out the Pride of Augustgrad. See if they're still good. Obviously with our Tannis, we're gonna have more success with our forces because they last longer. Doesn't seem all that fast. The recharge doesn't seem all that fast. Maybe it just applies to Raynor and yeah, maybe it seems to just only apply to Raynor and Amon for some reason. For some reason.
Insufficient rescue gas.
Let's get more dudes.
Minerals.
Or weapons on our dudes rather. Probably gonna wait for 100 energy before I actually attack.
Construct Earth Splitter ordnance to enable.
I will, but not today. Not today.
Templar, prepare to intercept.
Let's see how these guys fare on their own. Oh, they don't have stars yet, so maybe it's such a bad idea. All right, let's see.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
If you can't leave it, love it.
Okay, Arcturus doesn't fly off into space anymore. That's a thing.
Empire.
I kinda like that though, to be honest.
Together. By any, we're the higher authority.
All right.
Our allies are being attacked.
I think Arcturus gonna drop on the solar bombardment. It might actually release the Void Thrashers. So I'm not sure about that.
Rescue gas.
Well, I'm gonna release the Zerg.
What we must.
Your forces
Unleash the Zerg.
insufficient rescue gas.
Double 2.
Empire's right behind me.
Here come the Thrashers, Commander.
Okay.
Let's light 'em up.
Yamato.
We're the higher authority.
Void thrasher neutralized.
So far, not really feeling too high on these. I mean, we're bursting down because I used the Zerg. Like I said, the Zerg is still the main source of, or the top parts are still the main source of the Arcturus' power.
Won't be long before
Can do it. I can do this all I want, but in the end,
Looks like Mobius Corps sent a damn Archangel after
in the end, it's the
that thing up before it causes too much trouble.
it's the use of the top bars that'll make or break Arcturus.
Repair itself. Sooner
Come on,
you
Blimp.
attack it, sooner
Blimp,
the
where are you?
repairs will stop.
Blimp, Blimp, where are you?
Just goes to show.
Okay, there we go.
No piece of hardware is half as good as the pilot inside
All right.
it.
Yes, Commander.
We're the higher authority.
So the nuke's almost ready.
Course laid in.
This is the home front now.
Well,
My dominion.
I think I'm gonna jump in. Yeah, I think I might just jump in.
If you can't leave it,
With the
love it.
public's full support, we may take whatever measures are necessary.
I just kill those things.
activating shields.
Okay, good shield by my ally.
My dominion.
Our
The
allies.
Void Thrashers are on the field.
Drop him there.
Check 'em out, commanders.
If you can't leave it, love it.
Yamato. Yeah, that killed it.
Work there.
That killed it.
Sensors show only 3 Void
Let's
Thrashers.
drop some troops here. Okay.
Empire's right behind.
Yeah, that did go down fast.
Headed into the red zone.
Okay.
Hostiles will reach
GG.
us soon.
14 minutes, not a very terrible time. Not that great either, though.
Savor this feeling.
Yeah, Arcturus doesn't ramp up very fast.
Because
His Prides of August are still pretty slow. I probably wouldn't recommend them on this map unless you do have an Arcturus ally or an Artanis ally. But I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for it, also do please leave that in a comment. Let's see the score screen. Overall, it seems like one bunker is still better than trying to expand with the Zerg, unless of course it's on a defended map. Since if you play on a defended map, the bunker will probably just die. The Zerg, even at 25, seem to have more firepower and more dudes, of course. I did kill slightly more. It's not that much, about 60 more, so it's not really that overwhelming. Especially against Artanis. Artanis has relatively low firepower compared to the likes of Mengsk. Top bar, yeah, I would still say that the top bars are Arcturus' primary source of power. They have been nerfed, but they still have a decent. I still felt that the generation rate is decent. You can still use your top bars whenever you need them, except in the early game. Early game is going to be rough for Arcturus. He had one of the best expansion times. Actually, he had the best expansion time in the game prior to the nerf. I'm not actually sure why Blizzard felt the need to nerf it immediately. It felt like a knee-jerk reaction, like fun detected, must destroy, like kind of thing. It doesn't. I don't think the nerf was warranted, especially when you already have the likes of Abathur, who is clearly stronger than this. If I was playing Abathur, I'd probably have triple the kills or something. The Haka is also really good on this kind of map. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they're just trying to kill the fun, to be honest. Not sure why. I'm not sure why they decided to nerf something that's just fun. I'm gonna try out the Zeratul changes. Then the Tychus changes. They buffed Nicara and Vega, so they should be less bad now. Also, they heavily nerfed Zeratul's cannons. I'll have to do a video there as well. I think what they're trying to do with Zeratul's cannons is that they'll just be for mineral sink or mineral dump. Once Zeratul maxes out with units, he can make the Tesseract cannons, since Zeratul caps 100 supply. Once he maxes out, he'll be able to spend his extra minerals on Tesseract cannons, which of course are detection as well as extra firepower. And they will definitely not be as spammable as before, since the cooldown has greatly increased and the cost has greatly increased. So yeah, one Zeratul cannon is basically now worth almost 3 Karax cannons. They are that good. They are that good. But it just feels like, I don't know, they're taking away options for lesser players, or for weaker players overall. I personally have never been in favor of nerfing, especially in a PvE game, in a in a versus AI game. In 1v1, sure, nerf it all you want. Make it all balanced and stuff, but come on. It's just this is a relatively casual game mode. Why would you need to focus so heavily on nerfing people? I'm still not over the Stukov nerf. I basically have no idea how to play Stukov now. Everything he has seems to die too quickly without dealing the necessary damage to make them feel like a real co-op unit. Unlike, for example, if you play as Abathur, you basically never lose your Brutalisks and your Leviathans. Those don't trade; they just steamroll. If you play as a hero commander, you play as a Kerrigan, you never lose your hero. Your army is expendable, but your main source of power is still your hero. For commanders like Zeratul, for commanders like Stukov, your main source of power is not going to be your top bars, but now they're not even that spammable. Unlike the hero, your hero is basically there indefinitely. If you're Zagara, Zagara is indefinitely there, and your units are so cheap that you can basically replace them all the time. But not for Stukov. His units are not cheap. His factory units are not cheap. And now they nerfed this bunker. I mean, you can still spam bunkers on mutations that require them, but they're going to be a lot weaker. So yeah, I will further try. I'm still not over the Karax thing as well. Karax has static defense, true, but that makes him extremely situational. You can use him for mutations or on defensive missions like Dead of Night and Minor Evacuation, but that's about it. Or I guess also Void Launch and Oblivion Express. But that's about it. On the other missions, you have about... How many missions do we have now? $15, if I counted right. We have a lot of co-op missions. Only 4 of them will be good for the likes of Karax. Swan at least has great static defense, and he has great offense. You can move your Siege Tanks, which are easy to obtain by the way. You can move your Siege Tanks into the Hercules and clear the map with Goliath as a cheap supplementary force. Karax, on the other hand, has defense and his Spear of Adun, and that's it. You basically are shoehorned as Karax into support without any real means to deal damage yourself, and I see that as not a good option. If you have Karax only, then you're basically relegated to getting carried 80% of the time. So I really wish they'd buff another thing, Alarak. I wish they would buff out. Just make the Ascendants not consumable by sacrifice. The thing is, Alarak is extremely punishing to play. He has firepower, yes, but that comes at the cost of being extremely punishing. If you lose an Ascendant, you're reset back to 0. So the last thing that Alarak needs is a mechanism that inherently feeds his most important unit to someone who's death prone. That's definitely something that most people do not want, and I assure you, most people do not want that. There's a reason why there are so few Alarak players on the solo queue these days. Most players would rather not deal with that. If you want to increase the rate at which people play Alarak, remove his punishing mechanics. Again, he has firepower, he lacks mobility, and he's extremely punishing. So I would recommend that remove the punishing mechanic. His lack of mobility is fine as long as you remove the punishing mechanic. Then good players will find a way to play Alarak. Again, and these days only players who really insist on Alarak, aka the speedrunners, play him. And yeah. What else? Hanen Horner, another underused commander. I barely see any Hanen Horners on the solo queue these days. They do have firepower, but they're extremely squishy. The Reapers do damage, but they're extremely prone to clumping up and getting killed by all sorts of AoE like Siege Tanks, Thors, Ravens. Note that these are mostly Terran. For the Zerg, you have Vipers and Infestors that can really destroy Your Infestor Force also ultralisk if you don't lift off. And for Protoss, Psionic Storms are plenty, and Disruptors for Han and Horner. I would recommend the means to either increase the salvage that we get, increase production, maybe increase the cap to maybe 7 galleons. 5 seems like not enough, and the Horner units themselves are extremely I wouldn't say fragile, but high priced. If you lose them, that's a significant portion of your investment gone. And they don't have a means to they're not as tanky as I hoped they'd be, even with the significant other bonus buff. Maybe see, it's 15%. That's nothing. Yeah, maybe buff the significant other bonus to make it more attractive. Again, in my future games, I'll do Zeratul, show you guys how to play Zeratul without cannons. Well, with cannons, but in the late game, once I've maxed out. And then I'll do Stetman's battle carrier lords, or mecha battle carrier lords, and Rainer's battlecruisers have also been buffed as regards to their Yamato cannon firing time. And also Tychus. Stay tuned to see those commanders. Alright, see you.